You welcome from the short commercial break. I hope you will enjoy yourself in your beds, in your room, and in your offices. The moment we've all been waiting for is here. We want to take you through the journey of the lives of our presenters. Today, I'm standing in the beat of Dadzie, and I'll interview himself. I want you to understand how he metamorphosed from an engineer to become a journalist. And he's doing what, 7 years into the journalism business. Daniel is up there. I'll take you through his life and then you'll enjoy. Before I welcome my guest to the show, I want to wish Dag Howard Mills a happy birthday. I know Dag is pastor to Daniel. I want to wish him a happy birthday. I also want to wish Samuel Snow Annabelle, the National TESCON coordinator. Today's your birthday, and I want to wish you a happy birthday. Enjoy the rest of the day. Invite me home in the evenings and let's do our things. All right. So, Daniel, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
I feel a little bit nervous because today I'm in your seat and then you are there.
I am nervous because I'm used to asking questions. I don't like answering.
Who interviews the interviewer?
That's a good one.
Right.
But look, you guys are doing a great job. I've been watching you guys since 6 a.m. and I think you guys can continue on Monday. Yeah, so that we can rest.
I'll talk to the management of multimedia so that they can put me on and then something small for the boys too.
That'll be good.
All right, then I hope you enjoyed your evening. How was your evening yesterday?
Well, it was busy. I always have too much to do, but it was good. It was good. I wasn't feeling too well last night.
Yesterday was it, and then how did you celebrate your holiday?
I celebrated it as I celebrate most holidays at work.
You weren't at work yesterday?
I didn't come on Prime Morning because remember I said I wasn't feeling too well. But I still did news bulletins on Joy News and had a few other engagements. It was a mix of work and fun with friends and family.
Trust me, today's interview is going to be super exciting. We want to look at the life story of someone who started school as a science student, he did engineering, and then he's now a journalist. Is it there's a change from egg to larva to pupa to mosquito to whatever? So we want to understand what type of family did you grow up in? Where did you school? I mean, your basic school. Where did you school?
So I'm the last of 5 children.
Okay. Interesting.
Shouts to my mother, who is probably watching us now. Hi, mommy. I'm being interviewed on TV. Mrs. Rebecca Dadzie. My mom, Nicholas Dadzie, my father, both originally teachers, but my dad went into work as commercial manager for National Oil Palms Limited at the time. I went to Chapel Hill School in Takrady. Very prestigious school, I must say. Very, very esteemed alumni.
Dadzie boys.
Oh yes. Born, bred and buttered.
Okay.
in Takrady. I've been there, so I was there my entire life. In school, I was always there, as some would know, if anyone knows me, I always landed on the names of talkatives, the class prefects who write names.
Okay, so you had the DPs and the 3Ps and then?
Everything some.
Oh, okay.
Then they write DP.
All right, so right from the school again?
Chapel Hills.
So right from Chapel Hills, where did you continue? I mean, senior high school.
I went in Fansville.
Oh wow, Buche. So you're a Buche boy.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Interesting. And
the one and only.
So in Buche, what did you do? Were you a prefect? How did you come out with this charisma you have? Your personality? Is it because you went to a boys' school? Because I went to Accra Academy myself. With the boys' school thing, you always formal, you always going to be good, and all. So is it the Buche system that shaped you into being who you are now?
I would say that every system anyone enters helps them to be the best that they can be. Paul told Timothy that be strong in the grace God has given you.
Preach on.
There's always a grace that you yourself have been given. Right. And for any quality educational institution, it helps you to discover yourself. And so my love for public speaking, my knack for speaking well actually started at home.
Oh, okay.
Yes, before I even started to go to Chapel Hill. I always say that the first things I read, and I say this with, with no apologies. That is who I am. I was the Bible as morning devotion, So my parents would always wake us up every morning and we'll sit around the hall and we'll read a scripture and we'll discuss it. There's usually a passage. There's usually like an article written in attachment to the scripture, like most devotional guides do. But we'll go through the article together, we'll read the scripture together. So that was my first public speaking experience in life. I was reading the scripture during morning devotion. And it got to a point, there are some books in the Bible that have very weird names. Like if you go into Nam, they will say Methuselah, then you say something Neza, then something Nebu. Yeah. It got to a point that I found it's very easy to read those things out loud. So it will get to certain times, all my siblings will say, oh, Uncle read.
Madam read.
Mom read. Because this is something. Sometimes you finish reading it and be like, oh, only you could have read this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then also when it comes to time to discuss the scripture, talk about what you learned and stuff like that, I found it very easy to talk in front of, and I'm the youngest of my siblings. I have siblings who are as old as 45 now. So that's about 15 years my senior. And so I would sit in front of these people who are so much older than me. My father, my mother. My father had me when I was 40, when he was 44. My mom had me when she was 39. So it gives you the idea, right, that these are older people. And I had no problem at all talking in front of them. That was actually where I learned how to speak in front of people at home, at morning devotion.
So take us through the life in Buche. You were not a prefect. So what were you doing? What were you doing that was enhancing your public speaking?
I tried to be a prefect, though. It didn't work. I must say that for the sake of honesty. In the first time, I joined the Writers and Debaters Club.
Oh, okay, so you're a writer.
I am a debater. Yeah. And look, just on the side, any good speaker must write.
Right.
Any broadcaster worth his salt must know how to write something. And so yes, I was a writer and a debater. I was active in the WDC from first year. I was also active in the Cultural Society, which is Mfanspin's version of the acting club. So it was Cultural Society because there was a drama wing, there was a dance wing, and there was three. And there was a music wing. So there were those who play music.
So then what were you doing? Were you doing dancing, music, or you were doing drama?
I was doing drama.
Okay.
I was doing drama.
You can act?
Oh yeah, in my first
Are you still using that acting skills? Do you do acting?
The heart of acting is embodying the emotion of another character. And as a broadcaster, I find myself having to do that all the time. I'm young, I'm not married. I don't have children. But when I'm talking to a mother who has lost her baby, it is my responsibility as a broadcaster to reflect that emotion. So what do? You need to enter that character. That is in a form acting. So those skills help me all the time. You get me? So I won junior actor, best junior actor in my speech day in first year in Mfanspin, because I took part in an inter-houses drama competition. And yeah, so I did a bit of acting. I started a club in Chapel Hill. It was called Generation of Arts. It didn't last for long, unfortunately, but it was supposed to be the JSS version of the Writers and Debaters Club, because my brother was in the Writers and Debaters Club and I loved what they were doing. So I started something like that, but I did it, we scheduled it to be writing, debating, drama, and art, drawing. Yeah, so we had that. It was pretty cool. It lasted for a few months. So
then you said you're not married. Would enter your marriage life soon. But before your marriage life, after Buche, where did you continue? Where did you have your tertiary education? What course did you read?
I went to K University. I did geomatic engineering.
Geomatic engineering.
Yes.
So this is where we want to tackle the issue. So Daniel, right from science in Buche, you step in K University and you're not reading any course related to art, drama, writing, or the things you do best. But then straight to engineering. Were you lost? Why engineering?
I can call myself lost. I won't be. You won't be too wrong. But I also believe that every individual becomes a lot of things before they become who they finally become in life. And every experience, again, the scripture says all things work together for good, for those who love God and are called according to his purpose. So every experience that you have actually coordinates and works together to make you the person you are. So some may call this a mistake, I won't. Some will call it someone who was lost. I would say I was someone who was still searching. My dad always advised me, and I'll say this out of respect to my father, like he always advised me to do the arts. As far back as JSS, I remember very well, we had this visitors area, it's a veranda, and he was sitting across, and I was standing by the door, and he